The drama begins with Ktumo jumping out of bed because she's super late for an interview that could open the door to her first job. Her boyfriend, Fu Pei, calls to make sure she gets up and promises to take her there by bike. She gets ready at full speed, puts on a nice dress, and goes downstairs with the excitement of someone who can already smell graduation and adult life. But on the way, the unexpected happens. They run into a guy who's also rushing to an exam, Gu Wei. There's an awkward collision. Each picks up what they can, and before leaving he checks to make sure Ktumo is okay. She nods, he disappears, and, without either of them noticing the crucial detail, they end up taking each other's bags by mistake. When Ktumo sits in front of the recruiter, she discovers the disaster. She has Gu Wei's bag, so she's missing documents, samples, and everything she had prepared. "We'll call you," sounds like a flat rejection. At the same time, things go just as badly for Gu Wei. He shows up to his exam without his ID because it was in her bag, and the professor kicks him out without hesitation. They offer him a second chance because he's the top student, but Gu Wei doesn't accept special treatment. No ID, no exam. Period. To soften the blow, Fu Pei takes her to lunch. While they're eating, a message comes in. Another interview the next day, though it's far. She hesitates. He promises he'll take her and wait for her. The next day, Ktumo is ready and on time. And Fu Pei, nowhere to be seen. He stayed playing with his friends and left his phone at home. So, to not miss the chance, she gets on a bus. As soon as she gets off, a motorcycle snatches her bag and speeds off. She falls, scrapes herself, panics, tries to call Fu Pei. But since his phone was lying around somewhere, the one who hears it ringing is Gu Wei, who answers, understands what happened, and, not finding the boyfriend, decides to go help her himself. He puts her in a taxi, cleans the wound, holds her hand when he sees her shaking, and takes her straight to the hospital, all with a calm that melts her heart. In the ER, Gu Wei stands in line, asks for a wheelchair, x-rays, medicine, whatever is needed. Just as they come out, Fu Pei shows up looking remorseful. He apologizes and thanks him for the help. Ktumo, still spooked and embarrassed, tries to hold back her tears, but her voice cracks. Calmly, Gu Wei tells her to dry her tears and breathe. That night, she tells her best friend that he was more thoughtful than she imagined. Later, Fu Pei calls again with another invitation to make things right. This time, she turns him down. The next day, on her way to a rescheduled interview, Ktumo runs into Gu Wei at the bus stop. He admits he's going with her because Fu Pei asked him to, and almost blackmailed him with an embarrassing video. Since she's still mad at her boyfriend, she doesn't argue. On the bus, Gu Wei pretends he doesn't know her until his professor gets on and, to avoid getting stuck sitting next to him, he rushes to sit by Ktumo. They share an earbud. The professor sees them, assumes they're dating, and asks her to convince Gu Wei to retake the exam. He stays firm. If he failed because he didn't bring his ID, then a special treatment isn't right. When they get off, a motorcycle speeds toward them and her chest tightens at the memory of the theft. By reflex, she hugs Gu Wei. She apologizes right away, pulls herself together, and goes into the interview. The recruiter reads her resume, looks at her kindly, and drops the classic, "We'll call you." She comes out downcast and invites Gu Wei to lunch to thank him for keeping her company. They end up playing with some kids, chatting relaxed, and on the way back on the bus, she falls asleep on his shoulder. He doesn't say anything, but he starts to like that shoulder moment more than he wants to admit. Another day, Ktumo runs into the professor who kicked Gu Wei out of the exam. To ease her guilt, she tells him how brilliant he is and suggests taking him on as an intern. Professor Jiang gives him a level test. If Gu Wei solves it, he'll reconsider. She runs to the lab, pricks his pride saying the professor is doubting his talent, and he takes the bait. In front of the board, he fills it with formulas like it's breathing. She stands next to him, hands him the eraser, and keeps the board tidy. In the end, he hands in the solution and they go out to dinner. At the restaurant, the mask falls off. Ktumo sees that Fu Pei's phone is blowing up, inviting several girls to go watch him play. No matter what they argue about, she leaves with a decision. She loved him a lot, but his indifference killed her on the inside. She leaves him there. Hurt and proud, Fu Pei asks Gu Wei to step aside, so I can win her back. Gu Wei tells him to stop being selfish and walks off. The next morning, Ktumo gets a call from a company. She heads downstairs, all dressed up, and finds Fu Pei standing there, trying to confuse her by saying that last night she hugged him and asked him not to leave. She doesn't believe him. Meanwhile, Professor Jiang confirms to Gu Wei that he passed the test and can join the team. Ktumo is accepted as an intern with the option to stay. On the first day, the excitement lasts 2 hours. The boss makes her do everything and she ends up with her legs about to explode. Her mother shows up with an order. She doesn't want her staying where she lives and finds her an apartment belonging to a friend. She agrees, moves in, cleans, decorates, and turns the place into her refuge. At night, in a storm, she sits down to watch a horror movie. Then the door opens by itself. She grabs a knife and screams. And it's Gu Wei. To top it off, he's the son of her mother's friend, meaning the owner of the place. They apologize for the misunderstandings and, calmer now, start tidying up together. Toward dawn, he knocks on her door. He can't sleep in his bed and asks to switch rooms. She comes out pale with a stomachache. He gives her a pill without noticing it was expired and she collapses. He calls an ambulance right away. At the hospital, the same doctor from before attends to them. They confirm she'll be fine with a gastric lavage. As they leave, another patient throws a packet of medicine and by instinct, Gu Wei covers her with his body and takes the hit himself. When she wakes up, he's right there. He moves back, a little shy, but doesn't leave her side. In the morning, he goes to buy her food and answers a call from Fu Pei asking about some shoes. He tells him bluntly that they're at the hospital because Situmo got sick. On the way back, they have breakfast. She mentions she lost her hair tie and he goes out to buy her one. But when he comes back, he finds her with Fu Pei and, out of jealousy, he keeps it in his pocket. The three of them leave in a taxi. The ex asks how Gu Wei knew she was sick. He almost blurts out that they live together, but she lies fast. She says she felt sick on the street and he helped her. Gu Wei opens the door for her with that silent gesture that breaks her down. Fu Pei repeats it at the wrong time and it confuses her even more. In the end, Gu Wei throws the hair tie in the trash, hurt but not saying it. Right away, a friend tells Fu Pei that Situmo moved out and he decides to keep an eye on her. She, meanwhile, texts Gu Wei to ask for the apartment key and to pick up some things. He doesn't answer. She runs into him and complains. He swears he didn't see the message and takes her himself. His coldness, compared to his sweeter version, confuses her. Fu Pei follows them in a taxi and creates a whole soap opera in his head. At the apartment, Situmo picks up almost everything except the clothes drying outside. Gu Wei uses that as an excuse to do laundry and stay with her a bit longer. A sheet flies off into a tree and he goes down to rescue it. That's when Fu Pei shows up, comes upstairs, and demands explanations. Gu Wei explains it's all a misunderstanding. Situmo asks Fu Pei why he cares so much. He stammers, says it's because they're friends and he just wants to make sure she's okay. He even suggests that Gu Wei would make a good boyfriend, and leaves. A piece of her heart falls. She liked him for a long time and was hoping for something else. She pretends to be strong, goes back to the laundry, and the washing machine catches her finger. Gu Wei runs out to buy bandages. Left alone, she finally lets herself cry. When he comes back, he brings a watermelon, cuts it in half, and they eat it with spoons straight from it. Instant therapy. She gets a call from work and rushes out. He stays finishing the other half, happy to see her smile. Days go by with visits and entanglements. Situmo's mother arrives, meets Gu Wei, and recognizes him from when he was a kid. She teases him about his perfect boy face and even hints that he deserves someone like her daughter. In the morning, she wakes Situmo up early to pray and, while she's at it, to have her make breakfast for the boy. She complains, but she does it. Later, Gu Wei cuts carrots with a ruler to make them all the same size, and the mother defends him. He's a physicist, he knows what he's doing. Then she takes him to a cafe to rest his eyes. He learns a new game on the spot and beats everyone. The mother collects the bets like it's nothing. When they get back, she sits them together and drops the classic, "You two are meant for each other." Before leaving, she makes her daughter sign a contract to stay in the apartment with Gu Wei. As soon as she leaves, Situmo, just to be contrary, moves back to the dorm. Between work and gut feelings, she arrives late and the supervisor tells her this is her last chance. Wang Shan, the best friend, starts tutoring Fu Pei. If he passes, she'll help him fix things. He finally studies seriously, not noticing she already has feelings for him. At the office, Situmo asks her boss to focus on advertising design. He supports her. Days later, she gets an urgent call from her mother that is actually a plan from Aunt Chen and Wang Shan to get her together with Fu Pei. They watch a horror movie, he drinks too much, mistakes Wang Shan for Situmo, and tries to kiss her. A glass breaks. The truth stands naked. Gu Wei shows up, cuts the moment short, and takes Situmo away. Looking at the pieces, Situmo says her feelings for Fu Pei shattered like that glass. No matter how much she tries, it won't stick back together. Gu Wei, happy on the inside, still acts serious and keeps her around with domestic excuses so she won't leave. At night he pulls out the contract, says her mother asked him to take care of her and that, by higher order, she should stay. She laughs. A bit later she's told she got the job at the ad agency. She celebrates with her friend. Frustrated, Fu Pei throws a ball and the rebound knocks him down, literally and figuratively. It's time for a beach trip with friends. They set up tents, play, splash around, laugh like kids. Wang Shan confesses she likes Fu Pei. Situmo answers bluntly that she doesn't love him anymore, and her friend breathes easy. On the sand, Situmo struggles with a kite and Gu Wei helps her. The string breaks and they run after it. They find a seashell and hold it to their ears to hear the sea. He looks at her with such tenderness it makes her nervous and she pulls away, blushing. At night, around the bonfire, Gu Wei feels out Fu Pei. What do you feel for her? He dodges and says he likes smart girls, hinting that Situmo isn't. Gu Wei shuts him down. Then, Fu Pei cuts his finger and Wang Shan treats him with such skill it's crystal clear who has his back. He apologizes and she answers, "Pass the exam and we'll talk." Back in the city, the first day of work brings a surprise. A former high school classmate walks in, recommended through connections. The manager practically drools over her, while he dismisses Situmo quickly. On her way out, Fu Pei is waiting with a flower and she turns it down. He ends up accompanying the other girl and gets a call from his father to meet. In the lab, Gu Wei is exhausting himself with the project and falls asleep. His labmate, Si Yuin, looks at him with starry eyes. At the meeting, Fu Pei's father spits poison. He says money is everything and that his mother always came back for money. He tries to slap him. Fu Pei stops him and says he will never be like him. They fall out. That night, Situmo watches another horror movie with Gu Wei. There's a knock. It's Fu Pei, desperate to talk. She goes downstairs, listens to his "let's get back together," and tells him she doesn't love him anymore, that seeing him with Wang Shan made it clear their story was over. He tries to hug her. She pulls away and runs. Gu Wei, who hadn't slept in a while, smiles when he sees her standing firm and sure. After that, Gu Wei invites his mother to eat with Situmo. The lady is lovely and everything flows. At night there's a surprise birthday party in the apartment. Gu Wei helps with balloons and lights. In a game, Situmo has to look into his eyes for a minute. And the time slips away while she thinks exactly what we're all thinking. He falls asleep exhausted. She covers him with a blanket and tidies everything. Meanwhile, Wang Shan and Fu Pei go on a date. She notices he took her to places he used to go with Situmo and that, without meaning to, he calls her by the other girl's name. It hurts, yes, but he tries to fix it, takes her hand, and promises he wants something real. Days later, Situmo's friend invites them to lunch in case they reconcile. She's honest. She forgives Fu Pei, but asks him to take care of Wang Shan. "Don't hurt her like you hurt me." At the lab, the professor notices Gu Wei is distracted. He admits he's afraid Situmo will get back together with her ex. The professor lends him a ridiculous book on romantic techniques. Gu Wei tries one. He fakes a phone call with another woman to make her jealous. She doesn't even flinch. He writes her a love letter. In equations 1, 2 and I. She doesn't understand a thing. Better to go have something warm because it's starting to snow outside. Situmo goes out delighted. She loves snow. When he sees her shiver, he puts his jacket over her. She smiles, blushes, and thanks him. At dawn, he makes her a snowman and keeps it in the freezer. He comes back with a fever. Si Jujian notices, buys him medicine, and brings it over. Situmo, who forgot her keys, calls him and finds out he's homesick. She runs to take care of him. Right as she arrives, Si Jujian shows up with a package. The two of them look at each other funny. Each offers him her medicine. He, diplomatically, takes Situmo's. She stays quiet, but inside she's celebrating. Then Gu Wei shows her the surprise in the freezer. And it's already a little puddle. They laugh. She takes his temperature, 38 degrees Celsius, and suggests going to the hospital. He hides under the sheet because he hates needles. The doorbell rings again. Si brings a new microscope for the lab, and stays to test it with him. Situmo gets jealous and locks herself in her room. When she comes out, she sees them ready to go eat. Si invites her, but she excuses herself with a tight smile. With Wang Shan's help, Fu Pei passes his exam and tells her that being with her makes him feel capable. He asks for a real chance. She agrees with the only condition that he take care of her. Meanwhile, Situmo runs into Si Jujian at a restaurant. Si confesses her crush on Gu Wei. Tumo replies that they share an apartment because of their moms and that they're just friends. C thinks of inviting Gu Wei, and Tumo takes the chance to leave, but forgets her ID. Gu Wei finds it and calls her to the lab to give it back. When she arrives, she hears him saying, "How pretty and sweet," but he's talking to a cat. She thinks he's talking about C and gets annoyed because he hasn't said something like that about her in a while. She leaves with a grumpy face and he has no idea why. That night, Gu Wei gives her a gift, the same mug she broke. Before that, he shows her the microscope. They get so close her hands start to shake. She pretends to be indifferent to the gift, but as soon as he leaves, she opens it and smiles like a little girl. To clear everything up, Gu Wei brings the cat to the apartment. Tumo loves it and, knowing he's allergic, teases him a bit. He challenges her, "If you keep that up, I'll kiss you." She answers, "That already happened," and runs to her room blushing. In the morning, he admits he doesn't remember when it was. She gives him a sip of alcohol to activate his memory. It works. He tries to get close and she pulls away, nervous. Seeing him distracted, the professor suggests a confession in a romantic place. That plan almost falls apart when, right before the date, he sees a paper where Tumo took a silly internet test and he scored 0. That brings his mood down. Instead of a love confession, he takes her for a walk. A cat walks by, he tries to show he's no longer allergic. Spoiler, he still is. They go on bumper cars. Every time he gathers the courage to say, "I love you," a kid crashes into him. Back home, she falls asleep on the sofa. He puts slippers on her, picks her up, and lays her in bed. His arm gets trapped under her head and he stays still in silence. In the morning, he cooks her favorite dish. She doesn't beat around the bush. "Do you love me?" He breathes and says it. She does too. Done. It's official. On their first afternoon as a couple, he waits for her at the bus stop. On the bus, he gives her the only seat. At home, from nerves, he puts on the wrong slippers. He lights candles and she, out of habit, turns on the light. What are the candles for if we have electricity? She realizes the moment, apologizes, and tells him to go on. The delivery arrives and they eat happily. She can't handle the fork and knife, so she suggests eating like normal people. They watch a horror movie. When he lowers the lights for the mood, she begs him not to. He laughs inside. If it scares her, why does she like it so much? At the agency, a celebrity is shooting a commercial. Tumo forgets an envelope and asks Gu Wei to bring it. He finds her asleep and lets her rest on his shoulder until they call her. There's a problem with the actor's outfit and she fixes it on the spot using Gu Wei's jacket. Then she fixes it on him and wraps him up with a tenderness that, now, he clearly reads as a sign. In the jacket pocket there's a photo with the phrase, "My future husband," from a game the actress, who is a fan of someone, was playing. He signs to calm things down, but it still stings him a little. Happiness is never linear. Wang Shan shows up crying over issues with Fu Pei and stays the night. Gu Wei wants some time alone with his girlfriend and makes up 1,000 excuses: water, tea, bread, but no luck. The next day he calls Fu Pei to come pick her up. She tries to go by taxi, looks back and, stuck in traffic, sees him arriving on a motorcycle. He puts the helmet on her, tells her to hold on tight, and flies her to her exam. Little details like that make Wang Shan swoon. The couple, for their part, enjoy their day-to-day. They eat lunch together, play ping-pong, she still beats him, go for walks, and he tries to show off on a borrowed skateboard, and crashes face first. They go back home laughing and fall asleep watching TV. In the lab, a new student shows up, Lin Sichuan, from Germany for a project with a possible scholarship. Competition heats up. That night, Situ Mo's boss keeps her to guide a model. When she finally leaves, she runs and hugs him. He admits he's jealous and half-jokingly asks her not to flirt with others. She grabs his cheeks and gives him a "my little chick." He answers with a kiss on the cheek. For the holiday, they decide to visit their families. At the station, they say goodbye, promising photos and messages. She sends him pictures of everything she eats. He, at home, helps his dad and, at mealtime, dares to say he has a girlfriend and they live together. The mother smiles. The father is surprised and nods. Official. Official. At New Year's, he keeps studying and calls her exhausted. 2 weeks later she comes back and he shows up at the station. On a skateboard, this time without falling. He takes her suitcase and says, "Let's go home." That night the power goes out and he turns on a portable generator he built. She's left speechless. Then he fixes her laptop. She falls asleep and he covers her. Suddenly, the families show up unannounced. Gu Wei was in his bed, jumps into the other room, and comes in through the balcony to avoid the awkward moment. In the living room, the moms talk about engagement, dowry, and wedding, and he, very serious, says they love each other but they're still studying and getting married now isn't the best. She stays quiet with a tight heart. The father agrees they're young and should enjoy life. Exams and graduation arrive. At the agency, an actress treats Kdrama badly. A famous director stops her and, to make up for it, invites the whole team to lunch. Nervous, she drinks too much. When the director tries to help her, Wei shows up right on time. "Thanks, I'll take it from here." He puts her to bed and leaves. The next day, she jumps up thinking she's late and he, laughing, reminds her it's a holiday. He scolds her gently for drinking and for hugging just anyone. She promises to control herself. To celebrate, they invite their friends. He orders fancy food and ends up broke paying. They laugh anyway. Fu Pei, with his dad, lives another battle. The father wants to set him up with someone for convenience. He takes Wang Shan's hand, introduces her as his girlfriend, and endures the slammed door. The father even throws a plate at him. Wang Shan steps in and takes the hit. Fu Pei decides he won't depend on his father's money anymore and leaves with her. With the budget at zero after the banquet, Kdrama opens the pantry, finds some pasta, and salvages dinner with Wei. They get ready for graduation. She ties his tie and he melts. On campus, guys give flowers to their girlfriends. She doesn't get anything because he was fighting with a printer. When he finally shows up, a nice classmate comes to fix the tie she had made, and Kdrama leaves upset. Wei runs with a bouquet. She resists, but their friends make them pose. He makes funny faces until she smiles. Then on the court he tries to explain. She jokes that, "Now we're even," and they walk off holding hands. To top it off, he gets better at ping pong and finally wins a couple of rounds. The dorm supervisor tells Kdrama she knows a handsome guy from the lab. She smiles and says she already has a boyfriend. Exactly that one. She moves in for good and, while she's organizing, finds some money she'd forgotten. They decide to use it to redecorate the apartment. New curtains, a painted wall, soft sheets. That night he insists on sleeping on the couch. She lasts 2 minutes and hits her ear. He suggests sleeping together, just to sleep, so she can rest. She agrees. He's stiff at first and then tiredness wins. She stays awake watching him with that peace you only get from feeling at home. Not everything is sweet. The agency publishes a piece of hers under someone else's name. She comes home crushed. He hugs her, she pushes him away, tells him he doesn't understand her anger. It hurts him and he shuts himself in. At night, she sits next to him to watch a horror movie. He pretends to be offended, but it doesn't last. They end up laughing. He offers his arm, so she can let the anger out, and she leaves a playful bite. "If I have to, I'll hack the server and put your name on it," he jokes. She elbows him affectionately. At the lab, they announce the scholarship and Wei comes in first. 6 months in Germany. He's happy, but he doesn't know how to tell her. He takes her to the lab, puts his lab coat on her, and drops the bomb. He's leaving in 2 weeks. She congratulates him, but it hits her. 6 months is a lot and she's upset he didn't tell her earlier. He explains he didn't want to get her hopes up if he didn't win. She needs air and leaves. That night, the group gets together. Wei pretends to be drunk to lean on her a little. Back at the apartment, he apologizes for keeping it quiet and tells her that, if needed, he'll give it up. She hugs him and tells him she'll wait, that she won't hold back his future. Before the trip, Wei gets his medical tests done. He's afraid of needles and bleeds a bit. She runs for cotton and laughs about how brave he is in the lab and how cowardly in the clinic. On the way back, he jokes about hiding her in his suitcase. The day comes. At the airport they hug for a long time. She tries not to cry, but when she hears the boarding call everything overflows. He asks her to take care and leaves. Back at the agency, Kdrama faces the boss with her friend to get her credit recognized. Since they won't budge, they both quit. In Germany, Wei shows up in a sleek lab, logs on to video calls, and makes it clear to whoever asks that he has a girlfriend. Kdrama's mother moves in with her for a while to keep her company. One day, he leaves her a note. "If your mom approves, come see me." Her mother smiles and says yes, on one condition, that she convince him to get married. Kdrama takes the hint, packs a suitcase, and flies off to surprise him. He spends hours anxious because she's not answering. He gets to his room and finds her asleep in his bed, with her favorite mug next to her, the one he took to remember her. He sits to watch her in silence. A foreign classmate comes in to invite him out. Right then, Kdrama shows up, hugs him, and makes everything clear. The girl apologizes and leaves. Gu Wei takes her by the hand and leads her to a small church, the kind where the echo throws your heart back at you. She doesn't understand. He, nervous for the first time, kneels down and proposes. She says yes through laughs and tears. Back home, she jokingly scolds him that there was no dress, no banquet, no ring. He fakes a faint, she pats him, and they end up laughing. They get married there to seal the decision and, 6 months later, return to their country ready to celebrate the wedding properly with family and friends. They take the registry photo and everything. Back home, she still hasn't found a job. He gives her his card and tells her not to worry. The scholarship paid well and he's not stingy. She promises not to overspend and to save. With a new attitude, Fu Pei walks with Wang Shan on the boardwalk, kneels down, and proposes. She says yes. The big day for Gu Wei and Situmo arrives. He looks flawless. She looks like a dream. He takes her hand and tells her the simple true thing. He loves her. They get in the car, she drives, and their friends follow behind honking. 3 years later, we see them with their mischievous son Mo, with drawings stuck on the fridge, simple dinners, and laughter on the couch. And that's how this story ends. The story of a girl who dared to let go of a lukewarm love, a brilliant physicist who learned to speak from the heart, and 2 lives that, with details, patience, and a lot of horror movies, ended up building their home. End of the drama.